Most Java developers confuse at one-to-many and at many-to-one. They look similar, but they're actually used from different perspectives. Let me explain with one simple customer and order example. Imagine you're inside the customer entity. Ask yourself one simple question. How many orders can one customer have? The answer is many orders. That's why, from the customer's perspective, we use at one-to-many. Here, the customer usually contains a list or set of orders. One important thing to remember. The foreign key is not stored on this side. Now switch your perspective. Imagine you're inside the order entity. Ask yourself, this order belongs to how many customers? Only one customer. That's why we use at many-to-one. Here, each order stores a reference to a single customer. This is also where the foreign key is stored. In real Spring Boot applications, you'll actually use at many-to-one much more often. Here's the easiest way to remember this forever. Don't memorize the annotations. Instead, always think from the entity you're currently writing. If you're writing the customer entity, ask, how many orders does one customer have? Many. So use at one-to-many. If you're writing the order entity, ask, how many customers does one order belong to? 1. So use at many-to-one. That's the interview answer. Once you start thinking from the entity's perspective, you'll never confuse these two annotations again. If an interviewer asks, what's the difference between at one-to-many and at many-to-one? Answer. The difference depends on the entity's perspective. At one-to-many is used on the parent entity to represent one parent associated with multiple children, typically using a collection. At many-to-one is used on the child entity to reference a single parent and usually owns the relationship by storing the foreign key. Subscribe Spring Java Lab for more Java and Hibernate interview questions.